join me in Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance. Well, thank you. And as we start here tonight, I would want to say that it would be our goal is to be able to get to the ISU game in a timely manner, but we still have to take care of business here. And if we could, have a roll call, please.
Mr. Loudermilk.
Here.
Ms. Alsop.
Here.
Ms. Swager.
Here.
Mr. Thacker.
Here.
Ms. Thies.
Here.
Mr. Norris.
Here.
Mr. Thompson.
Okay, Mr. Thompson indicated he would not be here tonight, so we'll start with item number 3. See if there's any corrections to the journal for the preceding meetings if needed. For November the 8th, the Sunshine meeting is on page 37. If everyone would take a moment to look at that, then I would accept a motion to approve. It's been a day or two.
President Thacker,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as proposed.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next item is the November 14th, 2023 meeting, and that would be on page 42. Same, once you have a chance to look it over, if there's no corrections.
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Is there a second? Motion made by
Wrong.
Committee Person Wager, second by Committee Person Alsop to move, motion to approve as read. So all those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. So the one last minutes we have is on page 47 of the January 9th organizational meeting. Relatively short meeting. Okay.
Second.
All right, motion made by Councilperson Alsop, second by Councilperson Wager to approve as read. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, communication from elected officials, other officials and agencies of the county. Commissioner.
Good evening, President Thacker, council members. I'm just here real quick to give you a little good news. Just came from a meeting with Terre Haute Economic Development, and it was announced that Amazon will be building a hub in the industrial park that is called their last mile delivery hub, and that will be they'll have 80 to 100 part-time and full-time jobs with another possible 80 to 100 private contractor jobs. And one of the best things about this is you guys will like is they're asking for no tax abatements. So, and I'll be around for questions on the other things tonight. Thank you.
Well, anytime you have good news like that, we're glad to hear it. Can anybody top that tonight? Any other officials of the agencies of the county? Okay, report from committees. Any report from committees? Okay, then we'll move right on to number 6, resolution and ordinances other than appropriation. The first one we have up is Resolution 2024-05, that's council, authorizing advance payment for goods and services. Now, Michael Wright addressed that at the last meeting and said that this is an option, and it's on our page 5, that if you want to look at that, that is a, thank you so much. That is something that comes down as an option if we choose to adopt, correct?
Correct. So this is a resolution that was authorized by a change that the General Assembly made in 2023. The Capital Improvement Board for Vigo County has adopted a mirrored resolution. Essentially, you know, the State Board of Accounts gives a lot of gruff over late fees for things related to bills. There's already more of a process behind paying a bill in local government than, you know, most people with their checkbooks. So the turnaround on those is sometimes pressing from a perspective, and this just gives the auditor the flexibility to make payments that it knows are, that the benefit that the payment is being made for, the auditor knows that's going to be received at some time. And some other examples where this could be beneficial or larger
$25.
capital projects where you've got a construction company who knows it's going to be incurring a lot of initial costs related to material acquisition and the spin up that is necessary to get a project site going. A lot of those hard costs are going to be in the first 30 days, and if the auditor knows that it can make a 50% payment of the entire contract cost down with the surety that the resolution calls for, it's how private businesses act in most situations, and it's basically giving that flexibility to local government. And Jim can answer any other questions.
Yeah, I
that
just
might be.
wanted to say, if you wanted to weigh in, give us your
Document the way things have actually been working for all my tenure here. You know, just codifies the way things really work.
Okay. Anybody have questions for either of those or in general? Not, I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve this Resolution 2024-05.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Councilperson Wager, second by Councilperson Thies to accept this 2024-01. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very well. The resolution for reallocation existing appropriation 2024-01, Vigo County Juvenile Court, out-of-series transfer. It's on our page 7. They spoke on it, and she's available here if we have any questions. What is the council's pleasure? If you want questions, ask her. She's available here if you need them.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second the motion.
Motion by Councilperson Loudermilk, second by Councilperson Wager. Is there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passed. Okay, the next one is resolution for reallocation existing appropriation 2024-02 area planning. This is one that we got, had a short video on, an explanation by Jared. It is on page 8. What is the pleasure of the council?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution of reallocation of existing appropriation 2024-02.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Councilperson Thies, seconded by Councilperson Alsop. Is there any questions? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next one is reallocation existing appropriation 2024-03 edit. As this is a parks, it's an out-of-series transfer. And it is on, I believe, page 9.
9.
And this is the one that we're doing for, instead of using the federal grant, we're just using what our 50% would be between the 2024-3 and 2024-4. But we'll have to do them separate. So the first one is 2023-03. Anybody like to make a motion on that?
Mr. President, this shows the ingenuity of Adam Grossman, our Parks Superintendent, and I would be pleased to make a motion to approve this.
Okay.
And I will second.
Motion by Councilperson Wager, second by Councilperson Thies. Is there motion made and seconded? Is there any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Same thing on the next one is on the next page on 10. It is the resolution reallocation of existing appropriation 2024-04 from the edit. This is for parks. This is for $25,000. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion for the resolution of reallocation of existing appropriation 2024-04.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Councilperson Thies, second by Councilperson Alsop for appropriation 2024-04. Any questions? No questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next one, we go to ordinance relating to appropriations, and the first one is 2024-01, Public Health Services Contract Services. And that one is going to be on our page 11. And this one, we had a discussion on this. If there's any other questions, I'm sure we have someone that could answer it, but if not, I would accept a motion.
Mr. President, a motion to approve 2024-01, total, Public Health Services, 1161.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion by Councilperson Wager, seconded by Councilperson Thies. Any questions? Hearing no questions, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Next one, additional appropriation 2024-02, LHD Trust Contractual Services. And this is, if anyone has a question on it, we can definitely bring this up. This is another one that Joni talked to us about. It is on our page 12.
Where's this one? This is,
What's that?
is this one George ready?
Oh, I thought this one was,
Last one was.
that's 2024-02. Is this one yours, Judge Reddy? No, I thought
this
this
is
was still
Joni's.
Joni's.
I'm sorry.
I thought this was still Joni's.
It
And
is.
so
Yeah.
it was,
I was looking ahead.
there was 3 of them that you talked about at the same
Right.
time that changed, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said earlier, we'll get out earlier if Marie doesn't ask too many questions. But,
Mr. President. Oh, Mr. President.
yes, go ahead.
Motion to approve ordinance 2024-02, total LHD Trust. I'll
Okay.
second.
And there's a motion by Councilperson Wager, second by Councilperson Alsop. Is there any questions on that? Not? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. And the last one is, that Joni had was 2024-03 on page 13, and it is for the maintenance contractual services as well. Any questions on that one? None, I would take a motion.
Motion to approve 2024-03 total health maintenance.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Councilperson Wager, second by Councilperson Alsop. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this one is additional appropriation 2024-05, alternative dispute resolution legal services. It is on page 14, I believe, second. And
That is Judge Red.
I understand why, it's almost the same
Same
amount.
amount, yeah.
So
In my
the,
defense.
if there's any questions on that, if not, we have Judge Reddy that could speak on that one. Any questions? Not, accept motion.
President Thacker, I'll make a motion.
Okay, is there a
And
motion?
I will second that motion.
Motion by Councilperson Norris, second by Councilperson Wager. Is there any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next one was one that Larry discussed from Highway, and this is one that additional appropriation 2024-04 edit for community crossings. They expanded the community crossings to be $1.5 million, so we had appropriated initially $1 million, so we're appropriating an additional $500,000 to become out edit. If there's any questions, Larry's back there ready to answer it. If not, anybody like to make a motion?
I want,
Okay.
Go
I
ahead.
want to make a motion so he won't get up there and talk, because that takes all night.
Okay. Can I get a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Motion by Councilperson Wager, second by Councilperson Thies to approve 2024-04 the edit. Is there any questions?
Now, I just wanted to say, I actually got feedback from a constituent that does a lot of miles on the roads and things, and had specifically brought up one of the newer ones on the map that you showed. And it was pretty exciting, because it was just, kind of to hear something complimentary about some of the work we're doing on making life good for those using the roads. So it was a good feeling.
Any other? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next one is additional appropriation 2024-04 ARPA Grant Recreation Trails Project. This is one because we didn't have a contract in place. We had to bring it back up and do an appropriation for it. So this one is on page 16.
It's 2024-06.
Okay, 2024-06, thank you. Is there any additional questions? If so, Larry can answer them. If not, accept the motion.
So moved.
Motion by Councilperson Thies, is there a second? I'm sorry, Councilperson Wager, is there a second?
I'll second it, since we.
Second by
these.
Councilperson Thies. Any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Additional appropriations 2024-07. This was the ARPA grant, one of the very first ones we did on the culverts and drainage for $2,104,000. But there again, we didn't have a contract by the end of the year, so we have to do a new appropriation for it. And if you have any other questions, he would be here to answer them. If you not, I accept the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve 2024-07.
Okay, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Councilperson Alsop, second by Councilperson Thies. Is there any question? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next one is 2024-08, ARPA Grant Fund, Hasselberger Bridge Improvement. This is one that came out of our recommendation of our subcommittee. A big project that if we do this, it can speed up the process on our other projects that we're doing with NDOT. Any questions on that? If not, accept the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve 2024-08 for the Hasselberger Bridge project.
Your second.
Second.
Motion made by Councilperson Thies, second by Councilperson Wager. If there are any questions? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next one, we're going to get into the ones Mark presented. Mark presented us the additional appropriation 2024-09 ARPA grant, the courthouse dome and cleaning. It's on our page 19. And this is one, even though he said that it had been done in 15, there were some issues with it, but we hope to have those all resolved. If there's not any questions on that, I accept the motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilperson Wager, second by Councilperson Alsop. Is there any questions? No questions, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 So, the next one is with the courthouse as well. It's an additional appropriation 2024-10 ARPA grant, and it is for the roof repair. So you had some illustrations of that, and that would be on our page 20 for a price of $10,000. And is there any questions on that? Not, I accept the motion.
So moved.
Motion by Councilperson Wager, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilperson Alsop. Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, next one is additional appropriation 2024-11 ARPA grant, county annex. He showed us a picture of what the ceiling and striping would be. There's been some new asphalt and the existing, but both of them need sealed and striped. If not any questions to that, I accept the motion.
So moved.
Councilperson Wager, motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilperson Alsop. Any questions?
I just had a quick question on this. Will we just continue the same setup and everything that we already have
Same
on the
con-
parking lot, just sealing and
configuration.
restriping, not like new configuration or anything? Okay, yeah, because we're supplying space wise, okay.
There, you want in a reserve spot?
No, I'm good. It's usually clear by the time I get here, so we're good. We're
Okay.
good.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And Marie is a good sport. Thank you.
You're wearing thin, though, Todd.
That's okay.
She had an opportunity to be the president, and she had done it to me, so. Additional appropriation 2024-12, ARPA grant for the community corrections. Now, on this one, this was a $30,000 one, and this was to help with for the parity for the people that work under the grants, and, no?
No,
Vehicle.
this is a vehicle.
Oh, this is a vehicle, I'm sorry, got off
Want me
on
to
that.
talk about it?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Marie, help me out here.
This is, bill presented to us for community corrections on a vehicle to assist with community service and litter cleanup. I know that's
Yes.
been a big
Very good.
initiative, both Commissioner Klinkenbeard and others have worked on, and I cannot be more excited about continuing our efforts on this park, so.
Okay, because I was on the wrong page, that's why I had that, I said that.
22.
Okay, sorry about that. The next, that is vehicle for $55,000. So could I get a motion for that then?
I'll make a motion to approve 2024-12.
Okay?
I'll second.
There you go.
Okay, motion by Councilperson Thies, second by Councilperson Norris. Is there any other questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. The next one is 2024-13 ARPA grant for the sheriffs, and this one also is vehicles. So on this one, they presented it to us. It had been an ARPA request earlier in the year, and then it came back to us. It was for a larger number, then it got pared down, but it still is $186,000. Is there anyone would like to talk on this one or have a question?
I just had a couple things I just wanted to add. I did reach out to the sheriff's department about kind of the vehicle ages and stuff, which we discussed when we were at the Sunshine meeting. I got that information, so I'll just go through it real quick. Since January 1 of 2023 through today, there were 658 transports done, 2 trips to Arkansas, 20 to Illinois, and 2 to Kentucky. Non-scheduled hospital details, same date, 1/1 of 2023 through today, 249 inmates sent out urgently. Total time spent on these is 165 days, 20 hours, and 8 minutes. And one of these hospital details lasted 43 days and was in Indianapolis. This alone placed approximately 20,665.8 miles on the fleet, driving back and forth. Court transfers. They began transporting nearly all inmates to live court on 9/5 of 2023, and they average 28 trips per week to the courthouse. I think that, Todd, you've been working on, and I think the Sheriff's Department and also the courts have been working on using the courts that are down there inside the building and reducing some of those trips, which will help with the reduction of some of the time and things like that. Over the last 23 weeks, they've had 644 round trips to the courthouse alone. That's 4,121.6 miles in 23 weeks. So I think with the program that you're working on with the courts and stuff, we can work on reducing some of that and reduce on the expenses of the vehicles and stuff. And then they gave me a rundown of vehicles. They've all got 150,000+ miles on them, with the exception of 2. So lots of their vehicles are getting old age-wise, mileage-wise in the fleet. 2 of those have had new motors put in them. So the fleet is getting fairly old.
Yeah.
So I think between them getting something new, reducing the amount of vehicles and repairs that are there, and the courts working on using those courtrooms down there, I think we can see some reductions in that after this.
Yeah, and I'd say that the judges have been open to that idea and trying to get the logistics worked out on. So that's a good point. Thanks for looking into that. Is there any other questions on 2024-13? Not, I accept the motion.
So moved.
Motion by Councilperson Wager,
I'll second.
second by Councilperson Alsop. Any other questions? Not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Okay, flip the page here. Additional appropriation, 2024-14, ARPA grant funds, Veterans Point. This is for tiny homes that Commissioner Klinkenberg talked about. We had the realtors from the community speak on it as well. This is a $15,000 grant, and to try to help them get further along on their process. If there's not any questions, I'd accept the motion.
I'll make a motion for the ordinance of 2024-14 for the tiny homes.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Councilperson Alsop, second by Councilperson Thies. Is there any other question? Hearing no questions, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, additional appropriation, 2024-15, ARPA grants, Vigo County Historical Society. I know Marla's here available to answer any questions if you have. This one came before us earlier, and now we're back to look at it again. I personally took the opportunity to go down there yesterday and walk it down and see the water damages and the impact that it's doing to the building and to the displays. So it is an interesting building and valued for our community. So if you guys have any questions for Marla, I'm sure she'd be glad to tell us. If not, you guys, I would accept a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve 2024-15 for the Vigo County Historical Society.
Second.
Motion by Councilperson Thies, second by Councilperson Wager. Any other questions, comments? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, the next one is additional appropriation 2024-16, ARPA grant. This is Rural Vigo County Water Study. So Commissioner Klinkenbeard brought this up, and then Bianca Gamble spoke on it. We do have the engineering firm here as well. The intent of this is to, the way I understood it, was $60,000 for engineering study. that engineering study then would lead the way for them to apply for grants. And if they apply for the grants, we'll have, she was just telling me that before the meeting, not only do we have these loops that we need to tie in for the redundancy of this water supply, they also have a water tower that's not functioning properly that had to be addressed as well. If we don't have the water in the southern Vigo County area, we won't have home building in the southern Vigo County. Any questions on that? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll
So-
make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Councilperson Alsop, second by Councilperson Weger. Any other discussion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next one is additional appropriation, 2024-17 ARPA grant study. This one is the Vigo County School Corporation Mental Health Program. The superintendent of schools spoke on this, and if anybody has any other questions on it, Marie will be able to answer those. Right, Marie? You could answer them, couldn't you?
Yeah, I'd be able to.
Yeah, so this one is, they lost some grant funding, and this will help them for the one-year bridge. It's $150,000 to make it till they can hopefully get another grant on this. If there not any questions, I accept the motion.
Motion
make-
to approve.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Motion by Councilperson Weger, second by Councilperson Norris. Is there any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the next one was from the Sheriff's Department came the additional appropriation for 2024-18 E-Share Asset Forfeiture, and this is for new equipment. And it is on our page 28, and it was a total for $32,395. This one for, and Sheriff, Deputy Fell is here, and would be able to answer any questions if we had those. If not, I would entertain a motion. Yes. Councilperson Loudermilk.
Yeah, I just stepped out a little early last week, so I apologize. E-shares just asset forfeiture, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I guess I had a question about this. Is this a reimbursement? Do we already have this vehicle in our possession?
No, this one is for the new equipment, I'm sorry. The first one is, the next one is a vehicle. So this one's 2024-18 on page 28, I believe.
Oh, new equipment. So this
Yeah.
is for the red dot sign stuff?
Yes,
not the
yes,
vehicle.
that is
Okay.
correct. Yeah, yes, it is.
But it's also part of the same
Yeah,
same request?
Yes, same
email,
E-share, yeah.
18 and 19, correct?
Mhm.
So I guess I'll just skip to the 19 then. Do we already have that in our possession, the vehicle?
Correct. It's in our possession. We haven't made payment on it yet.
Is there if this is not approved, was there a backup plan on how to purchase this vehicle?
But we would have to pay for it out of commissary, I'm sure.
How long have we had it, the county had in?
I honestly, not very long. I couldn't tell you exactly how long. It hadn't been very long.
And is the intent for this vehicle, is it for the position that's part of the other request? The captain's position, it looks like?
Yes, that vehicle would then go to our investigator from the 2 deputies we added beginning this year. One of those is going to backfill into our investigations division. They would need an unmarked vehicle to drive, so that's how it would filter down.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool, no problem. So now if we can, if anybody else has questions, feel free. If not, additional appropriation 2024-18 E-Class share forfeiture for the new equipment is up. So any questions? Or if not, if I could get a motion.
Motion to approve 2024-18.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Councilperson Weger, second by Councilperson Alsop for 2024-18. Is there any other questions? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Now we'll go to, which I believe we already had a question on it, but it is for the sheriff's department. 2024-19, if you have any questions, you can answer that for the e-share asset forfeiture for the vehicle. And that would, so if not, if no questions, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Councilperson Weger, second by Councilperson Alsop for 2024-19 e-share class asset forfeiture for a vehicle. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Okay. Please note it, one nay. Motion carries. Now, and then the last one is salary ordinance 2024-20A. It's the sheriff's. It's a captain's position, so, I just lost my page. And the captain's position, I understood, was, they spoke to us on that one. It was to amend the captain's position stipend, to eliminate a sergeant's position stipend, and then to add the detective's position stipend that was acted on earlier, and Cheryl can address that if you have any questions for that we discussed earlier. And if you weren't here, we want her to explain that because
Yeah, if you don't
she
mind.
did. Yeah, no problem.
You
Yeah.
can apologize.
No problem.
Right?
Sorry, one was for detective. That stipend was left out during budget. My error.
Just to,
Yeah,
Scrivener's error.
Clerical.
Yeah,
Clerical.
that was left out. So they couldn't even place anyone in detectives because we don't have it.
Gotcha.
Stipend.
Okay.
So that was fine.
thank you.
Anybody else have questions? Officers?
I do. On the second line item there, it says amend to eliminate sergeant position. Should that be a negative? You've got a positive 3,000. Is that-
However you want to look at it, yes, you could put it that way, but it's just taking that 3,000 out
Right,
since it says
right.
to eliminate.
That's, okay.
I think
Either
that's
way you
just,
wanna
I
look
don't
at
think that's a negative, I think it's a hyphen.
No,
I
we didn't know if
I
there
think
should
in
be
the
one
book,
there.
that's what it is.
It is.
Just making
yeah.
sure.
Since I put eliminate, I just thought you'd
Yeah.
understand eliminate.
That would go
I
begin.
just wanna make sure.
It's okay. However you want to do it.
Okay, any other questions? Not, I would accept the motion.
I do. Just real
Okay,
quick.
yeah, sure.
Is captain, is that a merit position? Is a merit rank?
Correct, it's, well, captains are appointed positions through state statute, just like the sheriff appoints jail matron, chief deputy, captains, some departments have majors, we don't have majors, but it's a merited full-time deputy, current deputy, yes. It's not an added position, it's a change in title.
But is it it's a merit officer, but is it a merit rank?
Are you asking if they're approved by like the merit board, is that what you're asking?
Correct.
No, it's appointed through state statute.
Okay.
Same as, like I said, chief deputy or jail matron or those other
Matron or
positions.
commander.
Major, yeah.
Okay. Has this appointment already been made?
Well, I mean, yes, we have, well, let me put it like this, we have someone filling that role, the job description, those duties, but a position can't be funded without council approval, obviously.
How long have they been doing that? Was that recent?
2 weeks, maybe?
I'm
2
sorry.
weeks, maybe?
2, okay. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I accept the motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, motion made, second. Any other questions? No.
Waiver and fees. Motion approved by
Vicky first.
Vicky first, waiver, and then
Marie.
fees.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say it that time, sorry. Motion by Councilperson Webster, second by Councilperson Thies, for if there's no questions, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. This one is salary ordinance 2024-21A for the courts, budget adjustment. This is one that was presented to us by Judge Newton, and then I know tonight we have Judge Mulliken here as well, if anybody has any questions for her. This has to do with the, in the courts, it's on our page 31. It is to amend to add system administrator, and this was done in the last year's budget. It just went in effect in January. Is there any questions or discussion on that? If not, I would accept motion. Okay, there is, I got my lines mixed up here, so that is for motion for salary ordinance 2021-1. I got motion approved. Is there a second? We have a motion. Is there a second?
Hold on.
Yeah, this is the one that's on page 31. It has to do with IT on Jill Debris, system administrator. And
I want to, I want to refer this to the budget committee until next month, if that's okay.
well, we have to wait and see if I get a second. If I don't get a second, then you can make a motion to refer.
Okay.
If I get a second, then we vote on the motion. So I'm just to be sure that we're doing it properly. So is there a second? Okay, motion dies for lack of second. It'd be open for a new motion.
I want to refer this to the budget committee. I think we need to check on this with our lawyer and so forth and see what we need to do with this. I'm not sure we can do this.
Okay, so there's a motion to refer to the budget committee. Is there a second for that?
I'll second.
Motion is made and second. Motion made by Councilperson Wager, second by Councilperson Alsop, to forward this to the budget committee. Is there any other discussion?
Yeah, just briefly.
Yeah.
I guess the motion is to refer it to Budget Committee, but didn't the Budget Committee discuss this previously?
Yes, the budget committee made the recommendation last year to move the position from the courts to the IT department, which is under the commissioners. And so that, then as the discussion was last week, Judge Newton, and I don't want to speak for him, but the way I got it, Judge Newton said that this was something that was discussed with the budget committee, and he made the decision, but then afterwards, talked to the other judges, it was not a favorable from the other judges, and they wanted to reverse it. Did I summarize that fair?
Yes. I didn't see a problem as it was explained, but when I returned my colleagues, they pointed some things out about the problems that would come up with it on the line, and they were not really in favor of that, so we just wanted to clarify.
Yes.
And put it in back in our budget. It's our employees. They'll help out with, the other items that we did. But it's under
Well, and I like to say, that's why I asked if I,
It was created by the judge.
yes.
By the council. But eventually, it always, predecessor was always put that.
Judge Mulliken, I know you had commitment, I know that you had commitment at court last
I was
week,
busy,
and so
yeah,
that's why you
yeah.
weren't here. I
So Sarah
understand.
Mulliken.
Yeah.
One thing I want the council to consider is that the position was created for the courts largely because anybody who's employed by us is bound by the rules of professional responsibility for judges, and they have to follow those. And the big thing there is confidentiality. And so if we have to rely on somebody who's not employed by us, we can't be ensured that they're going to follow the rules of professional responsibility, specifically confidentiality.
Yeah.
For me, I have a lot of confidential caseload, including chins, adoptions, and so forth. So anybody who does work for me has to keep whatever they do for me confidential.
Yeah,
And
and
that's really the critical part. So referring it to the budget committee next month just means that we have to rely on somebody who's not following our rules of
And-
professional responsibility.
And I would say, since this is brought up, I've talked to both the IT department and I've talked to the commissioners, which they fall, IT falls under the commissioners. And I think that's why they're just wanting to make sure we get this right, we don't do anything inappropriate, and so that's why I think that's a motion. I don't think it's anything of disrespect of any means, but we just want to make sure, like the clerks, how the clerks work for the courts, but they also are under the clerk's department, right?
Yeah, they don't work for, I mean, we work together, but they don't work for us. We're all separately
Yeah,
elected.
and so that's a similar thing. But yeah, I think your input is very valued, and I think that's what, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mr. Roberts, you would like to speak?
I know one of the considerations for the separation in that situation is also the IT department runs the databases and all of the technology for the prosecutor's office and also for the public defender's office. And not having one person that has interaction and contact and the ability to influence all of that information. Public defender's office keeps theirs separate in their own way, but they still manage the IT system and everything else. So having the courts separated from the parties that appear in front of those courts is also an important consideration in that and why it was separated originally. So, thank you.
All right, thank you
Thank
for that.
you.
And I think that's what they're wanting to do before making a decision, my understanding, so. But what we have in front of us right now is, I have a motion and it's second, so, and if anybody has any question or discussion on that, now is the time. Not, we will vote on the motion on the floor. Any other questions?
I just want to clarify what Mr. Roberts was saying. So essentially, you are supporting that the position be in the courts because of the separate.
Supporting the separation out of that.
Okay, okay.
And-
Okay.
Yeah, and to us, whether he is directed by a supervisor that is in the building with him or not, I think he still has a job. The professionalism and confidentiality would go on whether he is reporting directly to somebody or reporting to the courts, but that's what we're going to flush out. And so, so we have a motion in front of us. It is to recommend this to the Budget Committee, and there's been properly seconded, so if there's not any other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so let's do a roll call, so we make sure that we have this
Can I
done.
clarify again, just one more minute
Yes.
before we do the roll call? So as far as the Budget Committee, we're just making sure that where the funding is for this, who he will be reporting to? Is that kind of?
Well, the Budget
He
Committee
reports
is,
to the court, I mean.
Yeah, he reports to the court.
yes, he reports to the court, but where it's paid for, and last year, under the budget, recommendation
Right.
to the full board was that we take, like, consolidation of the IT, and then when they buy computers, they buy one set instead of all the different departments buy it. That was a consideration. And then this position.
Insurance too, the insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Like the ransomware.
Yeah, and so that was why the budget made, and since this came from out of the budget, they're referring it back to the budget instead of us just making it.
Okay, so by supporting this,
They'll
we're
be-
just
they'll
getting
make
a
it.
month to research and
We're
make sure we
kicking
do
the
it
can.
right.
That's all,
what we're doing.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
You're kicking the can.
not really.
So because it was voted on last year, and it just went in effect in January, so now this is the first meeting that it can be changed, and so that's when it's been properly brought before us, and now if we're looking at it, they want the time to confer with the Budget Committee.
Just to be sure it's right, that's all.
And that is one of the things, appointments is one of the things I'm going to be announcing here tonight as well. So now that we had a voice vote and it was not clear, so if we could have a roll call vote.
Mr. Loudermilk,
Nay.
Ms. Alsop,
Aye.
Ms. Wager,
Aye.
Mr. Thacker,
Aye.
Ms. Thies,
Aye.
Mr. Norris.
So the motion carries to refer it to the Budget Committee. So it's not a dead issue, but it's just being referred, it will be come back to us. Okay, next one is salary ordinance 2024-22, local public health service fund stipends. This was one that we had, I believe it's on page 32. This was explained to us from Cheryl last time, but we also have Joan here if anybody has any questions for that since last week's meeting. This is one that when we had the proposed Baker-Tilly study, then we took funding from the HFI Health Fund, Health First Indiana, and we increased those individuals' wages to be to the midpoint, the same as what we've done for the highway. Then that stipend then was calculated. There was a little confusion on that. It came out, they were getting overpaid. They notified the auditor's department. We adjusted that, and so we have to amend the ordinance in order to clarify that. Did I summarize that, Lois?
You did, and if I could, and I
Yeah,
don't know if
absolutely.
Councilmember Loudermilk was still here for that portion, so if he has any questions, I can answer.
Yeah.
them. But we did take this back to January 1 so that it
Yeah.
can be cleared up.
And to clarify, we did do the same for this stipend as we did for the highway, and they did not receive the additional 3% because they were at the midpoint.
Is to amend it to take him to midpoint based on the Baker Tilly.
Okay? Is there any other questions on that? Because, and Joni's here available if you have questions for it.
I
Yep.
make a motion to approve
Okay,
2024-22A.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and second. Motion made by Councilperson Alsop, second by Councilperson Wager to approve salary ordinance 2024-22A, Local Public Health Service Fund, stipends. Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. The next one is prosecutors. It is salary ordinance 2024-23A. It is to amend legal secretary position. And from, Mr. Roberts is here, if anybody has any questions, but he stated last week that he had, they were just changing that to be legal secretary position to legal secretary of child support and eliminating the legal sec.
From child support to criminal.
Yes, it is on our page 35. Anybody has any questions? Mr. Roberts here, if you'd like to. If not, I would accept a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Councilperson Wager,
I'll second.
second person by Councilperson Norris. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Salary ordinance 2024-24A, courts, salary adjustment for case managers. Okay. I don't remember this one.
I can speak on it if anybody has any questions.
Okay,
This
you
was
you
the-
can address this one. It's a, on page
don't see-
36, it's amending screen analysis case managers this is the one
This
with
is-
Bill Watson came and spoke to
Yes,
us
he
on.
had, he pays for two, gets paid out of the general fund for courts, that you guys agreed to. Two is from their grant. But when we did the budget, because he was trying to keep the same salary, he wasn't aware whether he was gonna get any more money for the grant ones. That didn't come through till November. He did get enough to make an increase, however, we're not giving it to him.
Until we
Until we
get,
see if council wishes to give a 3% increase. They are not part of the Baker Tilly study, so this is just 3% on top of what they were making. And then he also, the ones from the grant would be making the same. So he did get enough, but he wanted to keep them the same base rate, at this point.
Yes,
So
and that
he's
was
just
the-
coming back. And we did tell him, because he got the money for the grant back to then, although we've not paid him, if you so choose, you can make that one effective January 1 also, and we can go back. Otherwise, you'd have to amend the effective date.
yeah, so if I do get a motion on it, you need to say the effective date, correct? So, any other questions on that one? That is, the salary ordinance 2024-24A courts, and it is on page 36. Is there a motion?
The total cost is $2,603.
Okay, Cheryl, so the motion should be, I make a motion that we approve this going back to
Effective date.
January 1. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilperson Wager, second by Councilperson Alsop, to salary ordinance 2024-24A, court salary adjustment for case managers effective January 1st, 2024. Any questions? Hearing no question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, that is our, next one is honorary resolutions, having none. Resolutions relating to fiscal policy of the council, none. Appointments, and the appointments are ones that I will read off, and then these will go these are in effect after today. So what we have is Alcohol Beverage Commission is a one-year appointment, John Whitaker, for the year of 2024. Property Tax Assessment Board of Appeals, it is for a one-year appointment, Karam Nasser. Beagle County Redevelopment Commission, 1 year, 2024, Scott Ridge. Beagle County Redevelopment Commission, 1 year, 2024, Pat Ralston. Beagle County Public Library, a 4-year term, starting Tiffany Cherry. Public County Library is still on there to fulfill the rest of this year. A partial one is Brian Kane. It was appointed last year. Park and Recreation Board was already existing, and it's continued. It's a 4-year, starting in 2023. Then we had a Park and Recreation starting in 2021. Aaron Gladberry, it will finish up the end of this year. Terre Haute Area MPO Transportation Policy Committee, 1 year, myself, Todd Thacker. Visit and Convention and Business Bureaus, those were appointed in 23, both of them, both Allison Morse and Linda Lambert. Board of Zoning Appeals, a 4-year appointment starting 2024, Scott Lowe. A Hamilton Center Board, which was an existing one, it's good till the rest of this year, is a Doug Naper. Beagle County Board of Health, a 4-year, starting on 1 of 24, Dr. Amber Caddick. That was one that expanded, the legislation expanded, changing it from the executive body of the county to the fiscal body, so the council makes that appointment now. These are internal appointments. Most of these did not change. There is maybe one change in here. E911 Advisory Board, Vicki Wager. Emergency Management Advisory Counselor, Aaron Loudermilk. Pre-Disaster Mitigation Committee, Council President, R. Todd Thacker. Local Emergency Planning Commission, 1 year, Travis Norris. Western Indiana Economic Development District, 1-year appointment, Marie Thies. Building Inspection Board, Todd Thacker. Beagle County Fair Board, Travis Norris. Wabash Valley Development and Beautification, Marie Thies, 1 year. School Safety Task Board, originally appointed in 23, it's a 2-year term, David Thompson. Council Attorney, Michael Wright. Committee for the Budget is Chairman Vicki Wager, Marie Thies, and Dave Thompson. That is all the appointments I have. Any questions? Now, this is a section of public comment. These are limited agenda items not on tonight's agenda. Is there any public comment?
We bored them to death. They're not going to say anything.
If not, be open for, accept a motion for adjournment.
You got it.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Councilperson Wager, second by Councilperson Alsup, and we are adjourned. 1 year.